it's my first wig review video. So many people that I know in my life always ask me about my wigs, and especially women that are experiencing hair loss that are too embarrassed to ask other people or just kind of wig curious. So I am here to answer all your questions in a brief video. So I've been wearing wigs probably for almost 6 years. I started right at the beginning of COVID because we were working from home, and I thought, okay, this is the best way to do this. I'm just gonna start wearing wigs and then I'll go back to work and nobody will notice. And I think it kind of worked. Though most people at my work know that I wear a wig because I'm very open about it. I think it's silly to hide it, but at the beginning I was a little nervous. I didn't tell so many people. Now I'm super open about it. I get so many compliments on my hair, and I'm always so happy to tell people that it's a wig and how it's been transformational in my life. Anyway, first wigs that I started wearing were Willow by Henry Margot. That wig is a synthetic wig. Now, the thing about synthetic wigs is, they're anywhere from a good one can be anywhere from $200 to $400 to $500. But unless you have a lot of time to really take care of it, they don't last that long. They sometimes get ratty. It starts looking like you have tons of permatease in it, and it starts looking wiggy, and that's one thing you don't want. Oftentimes they're constructed poorly and you can see the knots, and it's just kind of something that you have to keep buying every 2 to 3 months unless you are really diligent about combing it the right way, taking care of it, putting it on a wig stand. So about 2 years ago, I decided to go to human hair wigs. I told myself, look, if I'm spending $300-400 every 2 to 3 months, I might as well just buy a human hair wig that's going to last long. It's going to be my everyday piece. So I did tons of research. I do what Allison does, and I looked at every single review on Trustpilot and on Facebook groups and just on Reddit. And what I found was there were a few brands that kind of kept standing above all the other ones. And the brand, my first human hair wig, was Wigs by Tiffani. They're fantastic pieces. I did buy some other human hair wigs after that, which I'm going to review. But I decided after 2 years to come back and buy another piece by Wigs by Tiffani. It is by far a superior brand. Now, the first wig that I bought was, I think, $2,200. It was a 24-inch brown with lots of blonde highlights, and I loved it. And I've been slowly going blonde over the last, I'd say, 3 years, but really started accelerating when I got that Wigs by Tiffani piece. And there's actually a reason for that, and I'll tell you why. When you have blonde wigs or wigs with blonde highlights, and the manufacturer is not bleaching those knots or tying those knots in a way that make them less visible, you're going to end up looking like you have dull hair, and you're going to see rows of these thick knots. And it's even with a powder, there's all kinds of hacks to disguise wig knots. It can make the lace gross, if you're putting concealer on it, and then it just dirties everything. First of all, I don't have time to deal with that. And the last thing that you want is when you walk up and you meet somebody, you see this, and they're looking at your hairline because they know you're wearing a wig. Now, for most people, I'm super comfortable telling them I'm wearing a wig, but say it's a business meeting. I'm not going to be like, oh, you see my knots? Yeah, I'm definitely wearing a wig. No. So that is a reason why I slowly started to go to blonde, is I just found, wow, these knots, especially when you have a really good wig maker like Wigs by Tiffani, who is meticulously making the hairline, making the knots invisible, then bleaching them if they are there. It just really makes your wig look like you're not wearing one. And you're going to shock a lot of people that you meet for the first time. They're not going to realize that you're wearing a wig. Anyhow, so I ordered from Wigs by Tiffani. It was a Sunday. I had the package by Friday. So super quick shipping. They don't have a lot of pieces on their website because people buy them so quickly, but they do restock often. And yes, it's an investment, but think about it this way. For someone like me, I don't go to the salon. I'm not getting my grays touched up. I'm not getting my hair cut. I don't think I've been to a salon for my hair in years. My sister-in-law will give me a quick haircut if I feel like it's getting too long, because I don't like a lot of hair under a wig. You're gonna get hot, and it ends up kind of coming out and sticking out. And when you have such fine, thin hair like me, it doesn't make sense to have it grow long. It looks like witchy or something. Anyway, so let me show you the packaging. So Wigs by Tiffani sends their wigs in a very, very cute box. Looks like this. and you open it up, and within it, there is a wig grip, a satin bag for storage, which is really important. And this time, I didn't get this last time, but they gave me this cute little brush. It's one of these like collapsible brushes with the name Wigs by Tiffani and a mirror. So that's helpful. I'm gonna leave this out. We're gonna use it in a second. So here is the wig. This one is called Cathy. She is a 26-inch, I call it blonde. I guess it probably favors blonde more, but it's a very soft, beautiful, layered look. It came pre-styled with these curls. And I have to say, my first Wigs by Tiffani came exactly the same way with the same curl pattern. And then after you wash it, it dries straight. So I'll be interested to see if these stay or if they wash out. But let me show you the cap construction. Now I've already cut the lace on this one because I was so excited to wear it to church yesterday. But I can make like a whole lace cutting video. So the cap is, I would say, I think this is about 6 inches or maybe 4 inches at the widest part. So you have several parting options. I tend to part my hair on the left, even though this is kind of on the right over here. It's got these two little clippies on the side that open. And then it's got this bra hook kind of enclosure on the bottom with another comb. And a little tip that I like to share is that if you're new to wearing wigs and you get a wig, they tend to stretch out, especially if you're like kind of irresponsible like I am and you're just putting it off and on because you're in a hurry. I tend to not put it on the tightest setting, even if it feels okay. I tend to go like 1 or 2 like portions of these back. So you see, I could go to this one and make it tighter, but I'm gonna stay here because inevitably it's going to stretch just the slightest bit. So when you put a wig on, you wanna be very careful about how you put it on. You're gonna put it on upside down. So you're holding the nape, okay? Oh, first thing we have to do, we gotta put our wig grip on. Now, I don't normally wear a wig grip. I just kind of put it on, but for the purpose of this video, I am gonna wear one. So like I said, I wear a left part, like right about here. I'm gonna put this on. Do not make it too tight. The worst thing in the world is a wig headache. Wig headaches suck. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it and it's gonna go right with my hairline right there. I have my bio hair in like a little nub back there. Oh, I dropped her. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna grab it like this with this in the front, and then you're gonna take the lace right kind of like on the middle of your forehead. And you're gonna take that back clip and you're gonna put it up under the wig grip, okay? You're gonna throw this over. Now, look, if you have your wig too low down in your you're gonna look like Eddie Munster. So you have to make sure that you're adjusting this correctly. I'm gonna take these side clips and I'm gonna stick it under the wig grip, and then I'm gonna snap them shut, and then don't adjust anything pulling on the lace up here. You're going to want to adjust with moving the cap, and you can adjust it on the side. So I'm going to move mine a little bit over. Okay. So now let's brush her out. Now, you want to be extremely careful. Wigs by Tiffani does not have a lot of shedding. Sometimes when you order a wig, either synthetic or human, you're going to find that immediately you go like this and like tons of hair come out. This has minimal shedding. This is very good quality. She is so soft. She is, again, she's 26 inches. So it goes just below the boobage. And I would say if I turn around to the back, it's gonna go almost to my waist, which I like to have a little bit more length because, you know, say you're styling it a lot and the ends get a little gross, you can always trim those off. I still want this back a little bit further. Okay, that's good. Honestly, wigs can be so transformational. I think that, you know, overall, healthy hair is a biomarker. And when we don't have healthy hair, I feel like it can kind of age us a little bit. And, you know, in my case, I'm perimenopausal and close to getting AARP benefits. So I don't want to look any older than I have to. Okay, so this can tuck beautifully behind the ear. You can also move it so the ear tabs are a little bit up farther. But you just want to make sure that your lace is not exposing your bio hair here at all. But this is, see what a beautiful hairline that is? Like I said, it's another benefit of having blonde in a wig. Those knots are just like invisible. It's so pretty. So this puppy is tight. Like, she feels good. Not tight to the point where I feel like I would get a wig headache, but it's snug, to say the least. So this is it. So this is my first wig review. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Like I said, I have a couple more human hair wigs that I'm going to review, as well as some synthetic wigs. So if there's a wig you want me to review, let me know. I'll buy it and I will review it. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. Thanks so much.